Welcome back to Horror Central. In this story, discover the eerie secrets hidden on the haunted roads of America. It was a foggy evening as Emily and her friend Sarah drove along the infamous Clinton Road in West Milford, New Jersey. The trees loomed eerily overhead, casting strange shadows on the road ahead. As they approached the haunted bridge, Sarah couldn't resist telling the legend associated with it. Legend had it that if you tossed a coin into the water below the bridge, a ghostly boy would throw it back to you. Emily shivered, feeling a chill run down her spine. She had always been a skeptic, but something about the dark waters beneath the bridge sent a wave of unease through her. Just then, as if on cue, they saw a flicker of movement on the bridge. Sarah slammed on the brakes, and they both stared ahead, hearts pounding. A faint figure of a boy stood at the edge, his face obscured in the mist. Emily's hands trembled as she fumbled for her phone to take a picture, but before she could, the figure vanished into thin air. Their hearts racing, Sarah quickly stepped on the gas, eager to leave the eerie bridge behind. But as they drove on, they noticed a pair of mysterious headlights following them, appearing out of nowhere in the dense fog. The chill in the air grew colder, and Emily couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone on Clinton Road. As the legend of Sand Hill Road in Las Vegas, Nevada, spread far and wide, it became a place avoided by all but the most daring thrill-seekers. Stories of a deceased couple haunting the tunnels beneath the road were whispered around local campfires and shared in hushed tones in dimly lit bars. The warnings were clear. Travelers should beware of the eerie whispers and mournful moans that echoed through the underground passageways, for the spirits of the couple were said to be restless and vengeful. One particularly chilling tale told of the woman's ghost, who was rumored to give chase to any visitors who dared to linger too long in her domain. It was said that her pale figure would materialize from the shadows, her eyes filled with an otherworldly rage that struck fear into even the bravest souls. Despite the warnings, there were always those who sought out the supernatural thrills of Sand Hill Road. Curiosity drove them to explore the dark tunnels, their footsteps echoing against the cold stone walls as they delved deeper into the mysterious underworld. But as they ventured further into the subterranean maze, the whispers grew louder, the moans more ominous. And then, as if summoned by their presence, the ghostly figure of the woman appeared before them, her ethereal form flickering in the dim light. With a blood-curdling scream, she began to give chase, her ghostly feet making no sound as she glided effortlessly across the tunnel floor. Panic gripped the travelers as they fled in terror, the cold breath of the ghost woman hot on their heels. And so, the legend of Sand Hill Road claimed new victims, its dark tunnels forever haunted by the vengeful spirits of the deceased couple. The legend of Jeremy Swamp Road in Southbury, Connecticut, was one that sent shivers down the spines of even the most fearless individuals. The road was said to be haunted by the infamous melon heads, grotesque mutants with eerily oversized heads who allegedly lurked in the shadows, waiting to ambush unsuspecting motorists. The stories told of how these deranged beings would make people vanish without a trace, leaving behind only a sense of dread and unease in their wake. Travelers who dared to drive down Jeremy Swamp Road spoke of the overwhelming feeling of dark energy that seemed to permeate the air. Some claimed to have seen fleeting figures darting between the trees, their elongated heads gleaming in the moonlight. Others whispered of hearing chilling laughter echoing through the woods, sending chills down their spines. The disappearances of motorists along the road only fueled the ghostly legends that surrounded Jeremy Swamp Road. Locals spoke in hushed tones of how the melonheads would lure unsuspecting victims into their clutches, never to be seen again. Some theorized that the mutants fed off the fear and terror of their prey, growing stronger with each disappearance. As the sun set and darkness descended upon Jeremy Swamp Road, an eerie stillness enveloped the area, broken only by the distant sounds of rustling leaves and whispering winds. Those brave enough to venture into the heart of the swamp encountered a sense of foreboding, unlike anything they had ever experienced. The legend of the melon heads and the unsettling disappearances along Jeremy Swamp Road continued to mystify and terrify all who dared to tread upon its haunted grounds. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the dense trees that lined Boy Scout Lane, a sense of unease settled over the small town of Linwood, Wisconsin. The locals knew better than to venture near the haunted lane after dark, where the ghosts of the past were said to linger among the rustling leaves. The story that haunted Boy Scout Lane was one of tragedy and loss, a tale that sent shivers down the spine of anyone who dared to listen. Decades ago, a Boy Scout troop had set out on a camping trip along the secluded lane, their laughter and chatter filling the crisp night air. But as the moon rose high in the sky, a darkness descended upon the peaceful woods. The echoes of joy turned to screams of terror as the troop was brutally murdered, their bodies never found, their spirits trapped in a limbo of unfinished youth. Visitors who braved the lane spoke of feeling unseen eyes watching their every move, of encountering eerie handprints of children long gone, imprinted on the trees that lined the path. The sound of ghostly laughter would float through the air, sending a chill down the spine of even the bravest souls. As the night deepened, the shadows seemed to come alive, twisting and writhing in the moonlight. The whispers of the past intertwined with the rustling of the leaves, creating a symphony of sorrow and despair that echoed through the haunted lane. Boy Scout Lane stood as a grim reminder of the horrors that could lurk behind a seemingly innocent facade, a place where the spirits of innocent children roamed, forever trapped in a nightmare of their own making. As the sun set and darkness embraced Highway 491, the air grew thick with an otherworldly tension. Drivers whispered of the road's unsettling past, where accidents seemed to occur with alarming frequency, each one more tragic than the last. The highway's previous moniker, Route 666, only added to the sense of foreboding that clung to the asphalt like a shroud. People spoke in hushed tones about the number of the beast, believing it had left an indelible mark on the very fabric of the road. Some claimed to have seen a ghostly black sedan materialize out of thin air, its headlights piercing through the night like eyes of malevolence. This ominous vehicle was said to chase unsuspecting travelers, disappearing as suddenly as it had appeared. As the moon cast an eerie glow over the desolate stretch of highway, the lingering spirits of the road's past seemed to stir, their presence palpable in the cool night air. The legends of Highway 491 were not mere stories to be scoffed at. They were warnings, cautionary tales whispered by the restless souls condemned to haunt this wretched road for eternity. Thanks for watching my video. Remember to like and subscribe for more.